Hello everybody and welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. My name is Winback and today we're going to be playing Everybody has an opinion about Johanna, I just don't know what they all are. But feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I am going to be playing one more game this week, I think. We'll see how it feels. Today's team comps though are going to be Deckard, Johanna, Cassia, Thrall, Anubarak versus Kerrigan, Rhaegar, Lunara, Orphea, and May. Now, I don't know why we have two tanks, to be perfectly honest with you, but more frontline isn't going to necessarily make things any worse. Johanna, she's not... How do I explain it? She's not exciting in most circles. So we're going to change that by building her a very specific way. She did get a huge nerf recently, which kind of dropped her way down from the public eye. She lost a lot of popularity because of the nerf, because what they did was really just take the nerf bat to this hold your ground talent and her trait in general. So, oh god, what was it? They may have just nerfed the trait itself. So I think this used to be a 20-second cooldown, and they bumped it up to 5 seconds. Actually, let me check the patch notes because I have them up here. Either way, it reduced the uptime on her trait, which made her more difficult to stay alive with, and a lot of people's understanding of the character is just hit D, walk forward, hopefully we won't die. There she is, okay. Iron Skin cooldown increased from 20 to 25 seconds. Yes, that is what happened. So now when you take hold your ground, you're going to reduce it to 20 seconds instead of 15 seconds, and you're going to get a bigger shield. It's still, I mean, talent-wise really good, but the increased cooldown on there is going to make it much more difficult, and you have to actually use your brain to use Johanna now with her trait, so she can't just walk forward like she used to be able to, which is great. It's fantastic. I think it's probably a strong change for her, and hopefully people will, like, try more? I know that's probably too much to ask, but you get the idea. That being said, I am going to take the block talent at level 1. It's not even a block. Yeah. That's so okay. I have to actually look at it, because the way the talent reads is that we're just getting, yeah, they're not block charges. It's just armor for 2.5 seconds every time that we use an ability. So I don't think I need to tell you, but that's pretty busted in terms of blocking physical damage. And then considering that 3/5 of their team do decent auto attack damage, that talent is going to pay off really hard. So we have 3 abilities, and all 3 of them, if we use them timed correctly, we could essentially have, what is it, 7.5 seconds of 60 armor. And then if we're taking cooldown reduction talents, we're just going to be able to use those abilities more and more often. So, I mean, you can understand how tanky Johanna can be against auto attack damage, which is fucking insane. It's not going to be super useful later on versus Orphea if she takes the, armor ignore talent, whatever the fuck it is. It's called dead magic on her autos, but it's always going to be useful against Rhaegar and Kerrigan, and in the early game here, it's just going to be fantastic. So, that being said, we're building Johanna much different than normal. Typically, you're going to see this character played with Blessed Shield. You're going to see her played with Radiating Faith at 20 or Indestructible. And instead of doing all of that, we're going to be super aggressive with her. We're going to take Falling Sword. We're going to take a lot of the damage talents. We're going to make sure that we can carry on a character that doesn't typically do that. Now, we're going to take, at level 4, Eternal Retaliation. I want the cooldown going on my W as much as possible to have more uptime on the block talent at 1. And then I also want the mana back so I can kind of hang around longer. The other talents at this tier, I probably should have picked Conviction, because the move speed helps Johanna engage a bit more than, you know, she normally would be able to. She's kind of a defensive tank in most scenarios, but the move speed, oh no, you can make it live throw. Yes, look at all that healing, so good. Ruby is still broken, by the way, completely untouched in the last patch. But when you put move speed on Condemn for Johanna, she is going to basically be able to run at the enemy team with her stun up, and they're going to have a harder time getting away. So it gives her kind of this small window of engage, not using her ultimate. But once we do get our ultimate, once we get Falling Sword, it's going to be much more aggressive on our part. So you'll see as the game goes on, but it's just, I don't have my abilities down here because I'm the robot. Anyway, at level 7 we are still going to pick up Subdue. Subdue is just so good. I don't usually pick Blessed Momentum because even though the cooldown reduction is really good, I just don't think that it works for Johanna because she uses a lot of mana to do a lot of the abilities that she has. I mean, mana do abilities, you know. But I don't know. I guess there's always a case to be made for it. I just don't think, of all the talents at that tier, that's the one that you want. Mainly because you can have an 80% slow if you hit 2 people with your Q. It's actually fucking nuts. And if you manage to hit 4 people with a single Q, you're just going to become this unstoppable slow machine. 80% slow is basically a fucking root. So no one can leave ever. Obviously you can't really aim for 4 people. It just kind of happens when it happens, if it does, but like you get the idea. So it just enables a more aggressive playstyle for Johanna. I don't think Zealous Glare is great either, because if you need to blind a target, typically you're going to want to blind ranged targets, characters with, you know, ranged autos. Oh my god, she lives. She lives. So many rubies down here also. Oof. It's just, when the Falling Sword saves the day, you feel it, you know, you just feel it. May's not going to leave either. Hopefully. She's going to die, right? Please? Please kill her? Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Everything turning up. Aces. Only enough mana for a W and a Q, but not even going to waste our time with that since they're getting away. I mean, if you're playing into like a really melee auto attack heavy character, or maybe even a gray main, I could see taking Zealous Glare, but at the same time I don't. I think it's the weakest talent at this tier, just far and away. So you blind people for 1.5 seconds, and if you continue auto attacking them, you increase it by 3 seconds. So you get 4.5 seconds of blind on a single character. I don't know. Maybe if you're like stuck in an offlane situation where you have to 1v1 an auto attacker, but why would you ever want to do that? I think this talent is garbage. Just straight up fucking garbage. Yeah, but there's Falling Sword at 10. 13, we're going to pick up Roar. This is going to increase our Q, which is Punish, by 25. And this is increased to 150% when Punish hits 2 or more heroes, which is what we should be aiming for anyway. So, boom, right there. 471 damage because we hit 2 people with our Q. Please tell me how any other talent at this tier is even remotely close to that good. Holy Fury sucks. Please don't ever pick it. It's terrible. Blessed Hammer is... it's a wave clear talent. Just... that's all it is. Just gives you an extra button to clear waves to deal some kind of extra damage when things are happening. But, I mean, oof, 489 just slapping Orphea in the face with our shield. Feels so good. It's so good. Oh my god. Oh, and that's what makes Johanna the fun character that she is. Yeah, but I Blessed Hammer is good too. I mean, you'll clear waves instantaneously with this ability and your others. But being that we're playing kind of carry Johanna, Roar is just where it's at. It's where all our damage is coming from. It's just going to be more useful. It's going to work so well with Subdue. Just don't pick anything else. Just don't. 16, we're going to pick up probably Fanaticism. I don't know. I always have a hard time picking when it comes to 16 for Joe. All of the talents at this tier are good. Holy Renewal, giving us health back, is, I mean, super useful because we can heal ourselves. We don't have to rely so much on the healer. We can kind of make their job a little bit easier. Fanaticism is going to give us move speed, and move speed on a tank is always, always, always going to be good. Oh, we got it. They stepped off the point. We're just going to get in the robot. I now have a walking bunker to save a teammate if they are in trouble. And trying to get over there. I'm going to shield him at least. Okay, yeah, I guess he doesn't feel like hopping in our gunner seat. That's fine. You're welcome. What the hell was that snowball? And knock back. This is me taking forever to decide on which talent is actually going to be usable here. But since I'm in the robot and I'm not using any of my abilities anyway, oh my god, she got killed by the gun, the laser, the gunner seat. Good stuff. Good aiming. Way to go. What was I saying? Oh, right. 16. What did we actually pick here? We did take Holy Renewal. Okay. Fanaticism obviously got nerfed with the nerf to Johanna's trait. So, since the cooldown on her trait went up, the uptime for Fanaticism is obviously down. So, not that it's not good, but you just can't use it as much. You get where I'm going, right? But again, move speed on a tank like Johanna is always going to make it easier for her to engage. It's going to make it easier for her to just run at people with her shield up when the time comes. So the general consensus now is that you just turn on Johanna and kill her. Like, you just get rid of her shield. Ooh, are we gonna get it? No. Big 3-man falling sword pulling the Mei into the Valkyrie. I cannot tell you how good that feels. This game is just like all about that feels good, man. Yeah, just so much feels good. And you don't really get that from Johanna, you know? At least that's what it sounds like when you ever ask anyone about this tank. They're like, oh my god, Johanna's so boring, blue. But then you play this build, and it just, everything changes. The whole world opens up and tells you that you've been living a lie. Love it. This is... When Johanna came out, she was my favorite tank. Oh my god. We're losing people left and right. No. Oh, 2 for nothing. We're gonna get out. We're already mounted up on our potion game. Yeah, here we go. Okay, just... There you have it. That's using your shield in a smart way. I'm just gonna go pick up all the potions. Go back to full health, because that's what we do when we have a Deckard on our team. Go pick them up. Don't make the healer throw them at you. Be your own healer. The talent's still broken. Ruby's still very much broken, so make sure it happens. At 20, we're going to pick up the one and only talent that you can take if you took Falling Sword at 10. It's called Heaven's Fury. It is absolutely fucking insane. So we're going to rain down damage, dealing 152 damage and reducing the cooldown of Falling Sword by 3 seconds for each enemy hit. Now that is everything. That's, I'm pretty sure we hit buildings too. 90% sure. That's Minions, buildings, and heroes. So, if the enemy team is fighting you in a lane, and you pop Falling Sword on top of them, and they are in a minion wave, you are going to get cooldown reduction for everything that you hit. I know, it's fucking broken, but nobody seems to understand how to play it. So, you're going to see it a couple times in the upcoming team fights here, but I really want us to hit 20 at the moment, so we're just going to try to stay away from the enemy team, play a little bit of Ring Around the Rosie, and get this going. Get the siege camp out for the kind of bump and experience, and then since the objective's on the bottom side, the enemy team does decide they are going to go deal with siege camp, then we get free objective or kills. Kills are always good too. Did he take beat stick? He did take beat stick. It's like, why is his staff glowing? Oh, that's why. He's gonna thwap some people. Oh no! Going in, we have a 10-second cooldown on our Falling Sword, grouping everybody up, blinding everybody in the back there. Kerrigan coming out of her cocoon with her ult still going, yanking them all together, just still running at the enemy team. There is another Falling Sword, another 10-second cooldown on that ability. Oh my god, it is just so good. So good. After 2 seconds, Johanna lands, dealing 460 damage, stunning them for 0.2 seconds, and slowing by 50%. Falling Sword doesn't get enough credit. It really doesn't. I wish you could cancel it early. I think that would be the quality of life change everyone would need to jump the fuck on the bandwagon. But I fucking love it. It's so good. Like, directing Johanna in the air, the lightning bolts coming down. Like, I love it. I fucking love it. Anyway, yeah, that should be game. Once the robot pops out here and we can run it down at the core. Trading 4 people for none is it's kind of a deal breaker when it comes to, the enemy team winning the game. So now we just sit on the point. We're going to get point guard on the MVP screen. I can tell you right now, because there's an achievement for just standing on the objective. And it's absolutely fucking inane that it exists. It really is. Alright, well, let's go kill a building. We've got the robot. We probably want to kill people more than we want to kill the core right now with the robot, because they do a lot of damage to the robot. And there's only so much that we're going to be able to do to the core if it's being protected by 5 people. So let's just run at them, get the kills, make sure that they all die, and then we'll kill the building as heroes once they're dead. The enemy team's purely focused on trying to kill our objective right now too, because I think that they somehow think that this is correct. It isn't. You just fight past the robot in these situations. Like, if you're on this type of fight, 19 to 20, and the objective is running down, trying to end the game. Falling Sword, yes. You have to ignore the objective, especially on Volskaya. The objective on this map does not feel strong enough to end the game on its own. I think it needs team support because it takes 2 players out of the equation. But I think the same thing goes with the Dragon Knight, unless it's super late game, and things like the Immortal or the Punisher on Infernal Shrines. If you have those talent disadvantages that late in the game, if you're at 19 to 20, you're going to have to run past the objective and fight on kind of even playing field. So if the objective is anywhere near the enemy team to help them, you need to ignore it. You need to go fight to win on as even a field as you can, right? Because it's still 20 to 19. I mean, what are you really going to do? It's a Hail Mary play to begin with, but you just want to make it easier on yourself. Anyway, this video is about Johanna, not game mechanics. So, reinforce at 1, 4 is Eternal Retaliation, Subdue at 7, Falling Sword at 10, Roar at 13, Holy Renewal at 16, and Heaven's Fury at 20. Fucking wicked good talent. Pick it. Just have fun. I'm telling you, this build should be the way that everyone plays Johanna anyway. It's so much fun. Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow. I have one more video for this week, so hopefully it's exciting. I don't even know what it's going to be yet. I don't think I have played the game yet to know. But we'll see you then. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you next time.